Oh, goody.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Zombies here again, and today we're back with another Marvel Snap video. So we got some news in this one that is kind of unfortunate, and I think is kind of gonna put a bit of a downside or a bad feeling to this otherwise pretty good day of news and updates. This is about the token shop in Pool 3. So previously, how the token shop worked was you could get a card from any of the various pools in it. You can buy that card for 1,000 tokens for Series 3 and more for the Series 4 and 5. But we got a update today, mentioned it in another video, that they're revamping the token shop. So they're going to give Pool 4 and Pool 5 their own section, a new section for new cards. Generally, a lot of good changes to the token shop. One of the changes listed was they're going to be granting people a free Pool 3 card every month, and that is going to have its own section in the shop. And this is something a lot of players were pretty happy about. It felt like they're, really trying to ease the pain of Pool 3, as Pool 3 is by far the biggest point where I see a lot of people fall off of the game, because it kind of just throws you in the deep end. You end up facing these big optimized decks, sometimes people with much higher collection level than you that have access to fully refined decks, and it makes for this really frustrating experience because it takes a lot of time for you to really catch up, and it feels like it's hard to compete on a level playing field unless you just happen to get lucky and get some of the better Pool 3 cards earlier on. Now, the token shop was originally made to circumvent that problem. Token shop kind of helped people get some of these really important and powerful Pool 3 cards they wanted to complete their decks without having to wonder, hey, am I going to get it at collection level 700 or 2700? As someone who did my entire Pool 3 collection before the token shop existed, I can confirm it was a really bad experience. And like one of the decks I really wanted to play, Patriot, I got as my second to last card, which really was just not a good time. So the reason we were talking about this and we're making this video, because there was a clarification on the Pool 3 section of the token shop. And while yes, you are going to be getting a free Pool 3 card a month, you better be making that selection very carefully, because after you choose your Pool 3 for the month, that section of the store is gone until it resets next month. So I feel like this wasn't made very clear in the update post, but we did get some clarification over on the Discord, and understandably there were a lot of questions about this. I think this is a really bad decision, but let's see what some of the reasoning is here. We felt it was the best path to get everyone access to the new cards without making the Series 3 journey trivial. Series 3 isn't available for tokens anymore, that's the big one. The goal of the token shop for Series 3 players originally was to enable the targeting of one card you wish you had to complete your favorite deck. It is not a replacement of the collection level. This screams tone deaf to me. It really feels like they think this game has been very successful because of their awful collection system and not in spite of it. Let me tell you, almost everybody I've had come to me and to talk to me about their experience getting into Pool 3, it's not a positive experience. And this is actually making it worse, if you can believe it. So, well, yes, basically what they're changing here, yeah, they're giving you that free Pool 3 card, right? But the amount of tokens you were getting before was essentially 1 a month, or 1,000 a month for one Pool 3 card as a Pool 3 player. So you were already earning 1 card a month. It's just now you don't have any agency over if you want to get multiple Pool 3 cards in a month. And on top of that, those initial 3,000 tokens that you get when you first get the collector's shop, you can't use those to get the Pool 3 cards you're going after. This is a huge problem. This is like really bad. And, I have a bunch of friends who have gone through the Pool 3 experience after the token shop, and what really helped them was being able to get a handful of Pool 3 cards to help build a specific archetype. 1 a month ain't cutting it to offset the bad luck you can get of not getting the cards you're interested in playing and building around. Discard is a great example of that. Maybe it's not a top tier deck anymore, but it requires some very specific Pool 3 cards if you want it to function, like Dracula, Colleen, Hellcow, etc. So by only saying, hey, you get 1 a month, they're not actually changing it to be more favorable. They're changing it to be the way it was before. It just feels, it looks a little different on the surface, but it's actually the same amount of acquisition if you're logging in and playing the game and leveling up your collection. But you can't use those 3K tokens you get when you first get the token shop to help you build a starter pool 3 deck, which is really, really bad. So this seems like a huge misstep, and it feels like, you know, 1 step forward, 2 steps back here for making the experience better for pool 3 players. Because yes, you're going to be getting more tokens now as a pool 3 player, but those tokens aren't going to feel as useful because you can't use them to help fill out your pool 3 collection. Yes, you might have a slightly easier time acquiring a pool 4 or a pool 5 card, but guess what? Most of those pool 4 and pool 5 cards are cards that go in decks that need a lot of other pool 3 cards. Just giving somebody, let's say, Bast or Valkyrie, that isn't gonna do a whole lot if you don't have some of the other pool 3 tools to support those archetypes. So this seems like a huge mistake, in my opinion. I really don't know what they're thinking with this. It really feels like they want to die on the hill of their collection system is a good thing, when pretty much the vast majority of people who I've seen talk about their pool 3 experience do not feel it is a good thing. So I wanted to get this out there because, you know, we didn't really have this in the update video today or the update blog post. It was clarified later. I wanted to make sure got this out there so people are aware of the change, and maybe if we're lucky we can give more feedback about this and get it changed again in some way, because I really think this is taking what should have been an easy win and improvement for the game and making it actually more of a downside for pool 3 players, which just really is not good. One other thing I wanted to mention is I do think that the changes they're making here is great that it's benefiting non-pool 3 complete players. I do think you have a lot of people who went out of their way to speed up the pool 3 completion process with the prospect of getting access to more tokens. Now you will still get slightly more tokens with this change coming through. I believe they said it's 7% more tokens, but I think it's going to leave a lot of people who spent money feeling a little bit burned by the experience because they were chasing this easier access to tokens, and now it feels like they really aren't getting, like everyone's getting that, so why did they spend money to speed it up in the first place? So I think they could really remedy that pretty easily if they did something like when the token shop first dropped, where if you were 3,000 collection level or 6,000, or what was it? No, I think it was 1,000 or 3,000 collection level, they gave you a bonus amount of tokens because other people leveling up after you were going to get more resources. I think something like that would go a long way to reduce frustration, and that's probably something you want to do given that a lot of the people who are going to be frustrated here are people who actively went out of their way to spend money on the game. But those are some thoughts. I'm curious what you think about it. Do you like this change? Do you think there are problems with this change? Let me know in the comments below. That's going to wrap it up for this video. If you enjoyed it, remember to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.